Welcome to the next lesson, and in this lesson we will be working on filters, that how we can filter out the data that we want to display on the tables. So before we start our work on the filters, so basically we have two different type of filters. One is that we can apply the filters directly onto the queries, and then we will have access to a very limited data set, and then we can display that information onto the table. So for example, in our table we have for example 10,000 different rows. So if we apply the filter directly onto the query, and based on the result, instead of 10,000 we will have access to only 1,000 rows of data. So that 1,000 rows of data we can then directly display onto the table, and then we can further filter it out and do the sorting and formatting, all the other stuff. So basically if we apply the filter directly onto the query, we are restricting the data directly from the very beginning. So we will have access to very limited data if we apply the filters directly onto the queries. Okay, but that is one of the option available, and the reason is that why should we why should we get access to 500,000 records or 500,000 rows, and then do further filtering and further analysis, and the reports will be very slow, and it will take too much time to sort the data or to break the data if we will have access to all the 500,000 records. So what we can do, we can apply the filter from the very beginning, and we will extract only the data that we really required or really need. Okay, so that is one type of filter which is directly to work on the queries. Second type of filter is that you will get access to all the 500,000 records, that and then you can display all of that data directly onto the table here, and then you apply the filters onto the table, not on the queries but directly on the table. So that is the other type of filter. So in this lesson we will be working on the query filters, and then in the coming lessons we'll be working on the table filters. So let's go back to the query section so that we can start our work on the query filter. So we'll go here to the query section and click on the edit, and we will have a look at the query that we are currently working on. So basically we have two queries, and because we are using multiple reports, so our focus here is on the query number one for the report that we just had a look at. And in the query number one, these are the four objects that we are currently looking at. And if I just cancel and show you the table, so we are not using any filter, which means we are having access to all of the rows, and we can go to the next page, and if so, for example, if I go to the last page, so again we are having access to all the pages and all the records because we are not using any filter here. So let's go back to the query editor, and now we will apply a filter. So the filter that we want to apply is that show us only those records where the sale price is more than 200. Okay, so let's go for that. So we'll go here to the table where we have the sale price, so that is in the second table here. Okay, so we will, where is the sale price, quantity sold, amount sold? Okay, here, yeah, in the first table, sorry. So sale price. So what we can do is we can just drag the sale price on the query filter area and release the mouse button, and then we can make sure that we have the right filter and the right parameters. So what we are saying is that show us all of the records with all of these four objects where the sale price is. Now again we'll have to select the right operator, and what we are saying now is that show us all of the items where the sale price is greater than, and we can type the value 150. All right, and now we can run the query. So again, you can select which query you want to run, all or just any of the selected queries. So let's run all of the queries because we have only 2 queries. It will not take a lot of time. All right, so we ran the query and the query said that show us all of the records where the sale price is more than 150. So here we have all of the records. So if we go back to the reading mode, so we can see that if we scroll down and how many pages we have. So we have 2 pages, and before we had 3 pages because we were not using any filter, and as we are using the filter now, so we have some limited amount of data available to explore. Okay, so let's go back to the first page. So that is how we can work on filter. So let's go back to the design mode, and let's go back to the query editor. So here we have our query panel, and the filter that we are using is sales price greater than 150. All right, and if we just have a look at the query operators, so again we can go for equal to, between, not between, less than, and different other options which are available here. Okay, so that is again the first example that we have seen, that how to use the filters in the queries, and in the next lesson we will see some of the more advanced features about the query filters.